Welcome to the Superior Drummer video tutorial series. This video will focus on the many options you can control and manipulate from the Construct window. Superior Drummer is divided into sections that can be accessed by clicking one of these 6 tabs. If you do not see all of these tabs in your version of Superior Drummer, you will need to download the latest software update from your Toontrack account. First, we'll look at the Library Selection menu. This menu allows you to choose from one of the available sound libraries installed on your computer. Once a sound library is chosen, you can browse the various drums recorded by clicking the arrows on each drum or cymbal. To the right of the Library Selection menu is the Load Save menu. Here you can choose from the presets available for the library that is currently selected. You will also find any producer presets that you have purchased and installed. As you can see, I have both Alan Morgan presets and the Stephen Slate presets for the Avatar library installed. These presets are available for purchase at Toontrack.com. Choosing one of these presets will automatically load every facet of Superior Drummer that the specific producer used to create their mix. You can also save your own mix of any kit in Superior Drummer, including mixer levels, routing, and any X drums by saving from this menu. Continuing to the right is the Tool Settings menu. This allows you to choose from the different tools used to strike the drums during the recording of the sound library. It is important to note that not all drums were recorded with all of the tools. So if you select a tool such as the mallets, you may notice red exclamation points on the drums or cymbals. This simply means that you will need to choose one of the drums that were recorded with the mallets. Next, of course, is the X drums section, which is covered in detail in its own dedicated video. In short, this section is used to add and combine drums from your available sound libraries. Below the X drums, you'll find the Envelope section. This section really allows you to create and shape unique drum sounds, far beyond what you could do by recording a drum set in the traditional manner. For example, if I hit the Ludwig Black Beauty snare that I have loaded, you'll notice that it has a great attack, good sustain, and a natural release. Any of these parameters can be adjusted for an effect or to simply manipulate the drum to fit better in your mix. This is done by first turning the Envelope section on and then moving any of the 4 breakpoints in the window. You can also save specific envelope settings in your user presets to later recall. Below the Envelope section are the pitch and humanize controls. As you may suspect, the pitch knob will alter the pitch of the selected drum by the degree that you specify. The humanize buttons control how Superior Drummer chooses to play back its samples for the most realistic performance. Each individual control is explained in detail in the Superior Drummer manual. Next, we have the instrument section. This is useful for quickly auditioning sounds at different velocities by clicking up and down the audition pad. You can also browse the various articulations that were recorded for a selected drum. Taking it even further, you can even adjust the volume of a specific articulation. So if you have your mix perfect, but the open hi-hat just seems a bit loud, just highlight the hi-hats and select the articulation. Then click the Edit Articulation Only button and lower the fader. Finally, you can also quickly alter the MIDI note that any drum is triggered by clicking the Learn button and then pressing the desired note on your MIDI controller. This brings us to the Voice and Layer section. This section is designed to control the amount of samples Superior Drummer uses from the available samples in the sound library. As you know, each drum recorded in the Toontrack sound libraries was recorded many times with many different hits for each articulation. The Voice and Layer section controls how many of these samples are used. Using unlimited layer limits will provide the most realistic sound. However, Superior will use more RAM. Using the smallest layer limit will use the least amount of RAM that still provides a good sounding result. The voice limit controls the number of concurrent samples of the same articulation that are allowed to ring before the lowest in volume is automatically muted by the Superior sound engine. Higher values will of course use more CPU power. We'll skip the master volume and the play button as they are self-explanatory and move on to the easy mixer section. This section is designed as a mini version of the Superior mixer. Here you can choose from the different mixer channels and adjust their volume, panning, and fade. You can also quickly adjust the routing presets in the mixer. Finally, we have the memory and status section. This section provides valuable information about the RAM footprint of Superior Drummer. Clicking the 16-bit button will cause all samples to be played back in 16-bit and greatly reduce the amount of RAM used. The cached button will also reduce RAM by forcing Superior Drummer to only load the articulations that are used in your MIDI sequence into RAM. To use this feature, click the cached button and then click the clear button to remove all currently loaded samples from RAM. Next, play your MIDI sequence and Superior Drummer will only load the specific articulations that are in your MIDI arrangement into RAM. And this brings us to the end of our Construct Window tour. Stay tuned to Toontrack TV for more.